Mia Local Poultry Farm. Again, I would like to thank you for watching this amazing episode. Wherever you're watching from, please welcome to the Farm With Us episodes where we get to answer all your questions right here in our classroom. Just a reminder, Mia Local Poultry Farm is located along Fort Potro Road in a district called Chenjojo, just as you enter Chenjojo district from Chegegwa. There is a trading center called Rivale. That's the town where you're going to find Mia Local Poultry Farm. So call us on our numbers. You can text us on WhatsApp. You can come visit our farms. Those of you who need one-day-old chicks, we deal in purely local chicks. So those of you who need the one-day-old chicks, those of you who need the hens that are point of lay, 1 month old chicks, please just call those numbers, send us a message. I cannot forget to thank all the guys who have been calling us asking for the fertilized eggs. We were able to serve you. Last week, we served, I think, about 3,000 local fertilized eggs. So you guys, we can serve you whatever the number you want. Just give us a call. We are ready to serve you. Now, today it's going to be a simple episode. It's not going to be long. Since it's Christmas, you guys, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I had to do this on Christmas. We have one viewer called Janik. He would like to know, just that he didn't tell us where he's watching from. It's usually our norm here when you want to ask a question or you want us to do an episode for you, please. You give us your names, where you're watching from, and so that we can get to share, so that we can get to talk to you as you talk to us. So today it's going to be a very short episode. Janik would like to know how to select the eggs for an incubator. How you select the eggs to take to an incubator so that you can hatch and get one-day-old chicks. Now, this is going to be very short and simple. How do you select these eggs? Now, don't forget that these eggs, you cannot select them. You cannot know which egg is fertilized and which one is not. They are all eggs and they all look the same. So you are not going to know that this egg is fertilized or not until the 18th or the 17th day when this egg has been in an incubator. Now, there is that process we call candling. Now, what does the word candling mean? I could be using some terms that maybe some of you guys are not familiar with. Now, candling, when you get your egg, okay, you get your egg like this, and you put them in an incubator, okay? Now, on the 17th or 18th day, we do a process called candling. Now, you get your egg. Let's say this is your egg. It has spent about 17 or 18 days in the incubator. You get a light. It can be a small torch, it can be a candle, but you have to do this in a dark room, okay, where it is dark. Now you flash your light, okay? You get your egg like this, and then you can flash your light. Now, when you flash your light against your eye through the egg, now if that light comes straight into your eyes and you don't see anything. Now, in most cases, if this egg was fertilized, you're going to see something like a line, okay? Like a line. That chick is beginning to form. But if you don't see anything and it's all clear, you don't see anything like a line forming, that means it's called a clear egg. Now, what is a clear egg? The clear egg is the one which was not fertilized. Okay? Let's get to understand those two terms. One, we've talked of the clear egg, the one which doesn't have that line. When you flash that light through after the 17th or 18th day. But if you see that line crossing through, a thick line will be seen. Now that means that egg is going to hatch. That egg was fertilized. So, to answer your question, you cannot know which egg was fertilized or which one was not fertilized before the 17th or 18th date are when these eggs are in the incubator. But now remember, when you put these eggs in the incubator, if you're not sure that they were fertilized or not, by the 17th or 18th day, by the time we do this candling, these eggs have already gone bad. So don't think that if these eggs are not okay, I'm going to go and sell them. No, you're not going to be able to sell them because they have been under heat for all this time. So they are not good. Some people use them to make cakes, but like I tell you, this is like using the products that have gone bad. It's like using something that has been expired. So I don't advise you to sell these eggs. It's much better you dispose of all these clear eggs. Now after candling, we shall remove all the clear eggs. Okay, write them down and tell you this and this number, they were clear eggs. Let's assume you brought 300 eggs and maybe 30 of them didn't show any line at the 17th date or 18th date. We shall consider them to be clear, and we shall tell you, in most cases we shall call you and tell you of the 300 eggs you brought to our incubator, 30 of them were clear eggs, and the 270 are the fertilized eggs that are going to hatch into chicks. Now, even if you have not yet received the chicks, you'll know I'm expecting about 270 chicks. However, it doesn't stop there. Like I told you, some incubators have different hatchabilities or hatchability percentages. Okay, so not all the 270 eggs, sometimes they may not all hatch. You may lose a few. But if someone calls you and tells you you have 30 clear eggs, okay, and now you expect the 270 eggs to be fertilized and okay, and then you go to pick your eggs, you find only, let's say 200 or 220, then you know his machine has a problem. Now it's high time you change the incubator, or you change the place where you're hatching your chicks from. There are so many places in town. Here in Kampala, we have so many of them. I'm not going to recommend any. We have one at our farm. We have so many people that we know, our friends, the people we deal in this business with, that have so many machines. But me, when you come to me here, I will not recommend that to go to this one or this one. Okay? Take your chances. I don't want to send you to a machine and then you take their 500 eggs and they're giving you 200 chicks. Okay? Now you're not going to blame Mia, because Mia is the one who gave you the fertilized eggs. The fertilized eggs, we confirm how many were fertilized at the 17th date. So I hope this is clear. Now, just to elaborate more, because we have known, we cannot know which eggs we are fertilized before the 17th or 18th day of being in an incubator. Now, sometimes these eggs can be fertilized, and we have seen that, fine, even if you take their 300 and the 30 were not fertilized, and you have 270 that were fertilized, I told you don't expect to get all the 270. And like I told you, one could be that incubator could, maybe the percentage of its hatchability could be very low. Okay? But then you also, as the farmer or the breeder, you could make some mistakes at your farm that can make the fertilized eggs not hatch into chicks. Now, these are the things we are going to look at. There are not so many. One, whenever your eggs are being laid in the chicken house, please consider removing those eggs as soon as you can. Okay? Don't wait for these eggs to first be so many so that you can come and collect them at once. Okay? If you can pass there every hour, every 45 minutes, even if you find there 10 eggs, pick them up. You find there 5, take them. You find there a tray, pick it. Don't wait for them to first reach like 3 or 4 trays and then you can pick. Because there are different cases you may cause to your own chicks or your own chicken. One of them, if this egg is laid and let's say it breaks, and that chicken or those hens taste this egg and they know how sweet it is, you're going to lose most of the eggs. Trust me, it has ever happened to my friend who is also a breeder. Until he had to go into packing them and then causing them stress, and then they had to spend about 3 weeks without laying. It was so terrible. So these eggs here, don't wait for them to be in the chicken house for long, because when they break, any kind of breaking, so long as it breaks and the chicken tastes it, it becomes a voice. Remember what is a voice? The bad behaviors, okay? Those funny behaviors that has become habits in your chickens. So very important, when the eggs are laid, remove them as fast as you can. Number 2, when these eggs are laid, it was cleaned. This one was cleaned. But when these eggs are laid, okay, sometimes it could come with the chicken poop, or maybe it can be laid and then it falls where there is chicken poop. Now that poop comes on this egg. I strongly advise you get something like, you know, this hard thing for washing saucepans. You don't know how it's called, but that small thing they used to wash saucepans. Get the soft one and make sure it doesn't have any water in it. Make sure it is dry. Get this egg as soon as you have picked it from your chicken house, and try to remove that chicken poop that is on that egg. Why do we need to do it, and why do we need to do it as soon as possible? You see, this egg has pores. That means this egg breathes. Okay, it breathes. It has pores everywhere. Now if this egg has pores and it breathes, now when the chicken poop comes and covers those pores, it can force that chick that is inside to die. Okay, remember, it is still an egg, it's not yet even a chick, but it has to be breathing. Now when you find your eggs have chicken poop on them, you can get a cloth. A cloth may not do well because you may need to put in water. You don't need to put any water on this egg, and we are going to look at it next. Get something that is dry and try to clean off the poop. Make sure it is as clean as this egg is, and then you store it. Now that takes us to our next point. When you're picking these eggs from your chicken house, very, very important, make sure your hands don't have any water in it. I strongly advise, even if there are some people who sweat very fast, there are some people who sweat, you find even their hands are sweating and everything. So if you have sweat, you have any kind of water in your hands, please don't touch these eggs. Okay, don't pick them. Clean your hands very well. Make sure they are clean. Make sure they don't have any water. By any water, I mean any water. No water should touch this egg. Even when it's raining, this rain that comes in with wind, make sure it doesn't reach this egg. Now, why? When that water reaches this egg is going to, remember we said this egg breathes, and it have things like, do they call them muscles or something like that? Now when that water touches this egg, those muscle kind of things are going to start appearing. You may not see them, they may not be visible. Sometimes they are visible, but this egg is going to die. So it will be fertilized, but then the chick inside will die because of that water. Okay, no water should touch this egg. Even you, when you are picking these eggs, make sure you don't have any water in your hands. Okay, now let's go, I think, to the next point. Now the next point, when you are picking these eggs, this egg has two sides. There is this that is pointing. I don't know if you can see it well. try to bring it to my camera here. There is this side that is big, and there is this side that is pointing. I don't know if you can see it. This is the pointing side, and this is the bigger side. Now when you're putting them on a tray, make sure you put them with the pointing side facing down. Very, very important, guys. Okay? Like I told you, you can take these eggs to the incubator. They were fertilized. The roosters did a very good job. But you could kill these eggs. You can destroy that egg by yourself, and they will not hatch. Now, we have just said the pointing side should face down in a tray. Now, this is the way you'll put your egg in a tray. Don't put it like this. Now, like I told you, we need to know why. It's not a cram work. It's not, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that. No. Let's understand why we are not allowed to put our eggs with the bigger base facing down. Why we need to put our eggs with the pointing side facing down in a tray. Now, this egg, I know all of you watching this have eaten these boiled eggs. Now, when you break this boiled egg, I'm not going to break this one, it's not boiled. So when you break this egg, assuming it is boiled, you're going to find this bigger side, it has a bigger part that has nothing. And then the whole of this is going to be the egg, and then the yolk is inside. Now, there is space that is empty up here. Okay? Now, that empty space, that is where the chick breathes from. Okay? Get it very well. This upper side is where the chick breathes from when it is inside here. Now, when you put it facing down like this, it's like covering the nose. You're not going to be able to breathe. Now, when you put them facing down for a very long time, what is inside here, let's assume the chick, okay? By now the chick is still just a liquid, it's not yet formed. It's going to die. Even when that chick formulates, it will not even formulate. It will come out as maybe a clear egg when the time for candling reaches. So guys, very, very, very important. Immediately you pick your eggs, keep them in this format. The pointing part should face in a tray, and the bigger surface should be on top. Okay? I hope this is very clear. Now, what would be the last thing? Or maybe before we go to the last thing. Now, you have picked these eggs in time. You have cleaned these eggs. We have seen how we clean these eggs very well. Okay? We have prevented water from touching these eggs. We have put these eggs in the tray very well the way we're supposed to do it. Okay? Now, we keep these eggs. Very important. This is the most important of all. Don't keep these eggs for more than 14 days. I repeat, don't keep these eggs at your farm for more than 14 days. Those are 2 weeks. Don't. Why? When you keep these eggs at your farm for a very long time, these eggs are going to go bad. I'm talking about the fertilized eggs. I'm not talking about the eggs that are not fertilized. I'm talking about these fertilized eggs. When you keep these eggs, I repeat, when you keep them for more than 2 weeks, when you take them to the incubator, they are going to come out as clear. There is, can I call it, I don't call it an expiry time, can I call it, there is a certain time this chick is supposed to stay in this egg until it starts formulating. Okay? So, when it reaches that time and this chick doesn't have the enough warmth, it's going to die. So, very, very important, these eggs, you can make it maybe a good habit after 10 days, after 1 week. Take them for what? Take them to the incubator. Don't wait to start collecting too many eggs and then you take them after 1 month. Because when you take them there after 1 month, all the eggs that you first collected for the first 2 or 3 weeks, they are all dead. So it doesn't make sense to take 500 eggs that you collected in 1 month and they tell you can only hatch 200 eggs. All the 300 are bad eggs. So very important, don't keep these eggs for more than 2 weeks. Some people are lucky they can even go to 3 weeks. But I'm telling you, don't do it for more than 2 weeks. Don't take chances. Okay? For the clear eggs, the ones that are not fertilized, they can even go to a month and even so on. But these eggs, if they are fertilized, in the 3rd week, trust me, even if you're going to eat it, you may find when it has already gone bad. So 2 weeks should be the maximum as a good practice. If you want to wait for the 3rd week, you can take your chances and see. So at Mia Local Poultry Farm, every 10 days we take these eggs to the incubator to hatch them. Whether we have a client who has booked them, whether we have a client who wants the 1-day-old chicks or not, don't wait until you have a client who wants these eggs, the fertilized ones or the 1-old chicks. I told you there are so many things you can do. If you feel you cannot hatch them and brood those chicks to 1 month and sell them in the eggs for the normal consumption. But like I told you, you'll be losing a lot. You'll be getting a profit, but a smaller profit. So please, these eggs, don't keep them for more than 14 days or 2 weeks. If you are going to take them to the incubator, you're going to make a very big loss. And then you're going to start saying that local poultry is a mess, local poultry is this and that. It's just because of your bad practices. So make sure you can do all those things. One thing I forgot before I came to that point, when you're storing these eggs, you have put them in a tray, okay? Let's assume you have your trays 10, 20, 30, 50. Keep these trays in a place that is not warm, okay? Try to keep them in a cold place. I'm not talking of a fridge. No, don't put them in a fridge. The chicks will die. So don't put these eggs in a fridge, but put them in a place where you know there is no heat. There is no reason to keep these things in your kitchen, where you use these local stoves and they are bringing this heat. When you put this egg under that heat, even if it is the sun alone, it's going to start incubating. Now when it starts incubating, maybe for a day or two, and then this heat goes away, you're not going to get the chicks out of it. They are going to start incubating and then they die. So very important, get your trays after picking your eggs, get a corner or a place where you know there is open air and keep them there, away from water. Another thing I didn't tell you, maybe I need to add on that one, when you are picking these eggs, okay? When you're picking these eggs out of your chicken house, make sure they don't have any crack anywhere on this egg. And what do I mean by this? The broken eggs do not hatch. Even if it is a small crack, okay? All the air has gone out of that egg. Even if it's a small crack, please don't take them for hatching. You're going to make loss for nothing. You can eat those eggs, you can sell them for human consumption, okay? So like I told you, you're going to get these damages. The chicken is going to be laying and then it will fall on another egg and maybe one will get a crack. Or maybe it's going to lay and whatever happens, it can fall on maybe a small stone and it's going to get a crack. So don't take chances of saying, let me put it there, maybe the chick can come out. No, the chick is not going to come out. So the broken eggs, even if it has a crack, it's not going to incubate. Now, there is something I wanted to demonstrate for you here briefly. Now, I'm going to get 2 eggs, okay? This one and this one here. They are all good eggs, okay? There is a certain, if you want to know, you only do this if you know how to do it, otherwise you're going to break your eggs. Now, these eggs, if you want to know which one you want to select which one to take to the hatchery or to the incubator. You can get 2 eggs, and can you hear that sound coming out? Okay, I don't know if my microphone is loud enough to pick this sound, but I will do it one more time. Very good. Now that egg, those eggs are okay. I'm going to break a little bit this egg here. I'm going to break it, and I give you the other sound you'll get if these eggs, one of them had a crack. Let me break this very fast. Okay, now you can see that small, okay, I don't know, my camera is here. You see that small crack that I have put on this egg? Only that small. Now you're going to hear how this egg is going to sound. Just this small crack that you see here. Just this small crack here. Okay? I will try. This, you see this small crack that is this crack here? Only that small crack. It's enough to show that the egg is not okay. This one is okay, this one is not okay. So whenever you pick your eggs, and okay, I hope you guys can get a difference. I purposely brought this egg to show you that. I go again. Whenever you see this small crack that you can see on this egg here, it will not hatch. Don't even waste your eggs by taking them to an incubator. Why? You're going to pay money for them, and then you're not going even to get them hatched. Remember at the 17th or 18th day, they are going to tell you they are clear eggs, and they're going to throw them away. So better you sell these eggs for eating. It's not a bad egg yet, but it is a cracked egg. So better sell them in the consumption eggs. Now, let's go to the last thing. Now, we have seen everything now. We have seen how to pick the eggs. You need to pick them in time. You need to clean these eggs, remove the chicken poop. You need to prevent water from touching these eggs. You need to check these eggs if they don't have any cracks on them. I told you, any crack, the egg is not going to hatch. Okay, another thing we have looked at, keeping these eggs in a pointing way in the tray, and then we looked at storing these trays in a cool, dry place, not in a fridge, but in a cool, dry place, in an open where air can pass in these eggs. And then we said we don't keep them in a hot place. Why? Because these eggs are going to start hatching. Okay, now we have looked at all this. Now after getting these eggs and knowing that, okay, now I have 300 eggs, I have 100, I have 50 eggs, pick them very well, transport them very well to the incubator. When you reach the incubator, they will ask you to pay some money. You will pay some money, they will give you a receipt, and they will give you a collection date. Now the collection date doesn't start by the date you have taken these eggs to the incubator. Some incubators put their eggs in the incubator every Monday, others every Tuesday, others, they don't put the eggs every day. So when you take these eggs to the incubator, let's say on Friday, they can tell you maybe on Monday, that's when they're going to put your eggs in the incubator. Now they will tell you from Monday, they will count 21 days. Make sure it's them counting, not you, because for you, you'll not understand. You may count one day ahead or one day before. And this is going to distract your settings and everything, because they will tell you these chicks are ready today, and yet you're planning to receive them tomorrow. You have not bought the vaccines. Remember, you have to vaccinate them against Malex and Newcastle. So maybe you have not bought the vaccines, you have not prepared where you're going to vaccinate from, you have not set up your brooder very well, you have not lit your pots, maybe you have not yet got the charcoal brooding paper and everything. So it's very important these people tell you that on such and such a date, that is when you're going to pick these chicks. And make sure make sure you are ready to pick them at that date. Don't leave your chicks to spend there an overnight. Okay? I know these chicks can last for about 2 or 3 days without eating anything. But please, if they tell you to pick them on Sunday 15th, make sure Sunday 15th pick your chicks. In most cases, they will call you again on that day, as we have been doing to our clients. We call you again that morning and tell you, expect to get your chicks maybe today, maybe at around 2, around 3, because you have to wait for all of them to hatch, and we know that all have hatched, unless the eggs that are not going to hatch, and then you come and pick your chicks. Now, when you pick your chicks, when you come to me, a local poultry farm, we charge a very small amount of money, less than $1, about 3,000 shillings for every box. We shall give you, I don't have a box here, but these boxes, each one carries 50 chicks. That means if you are expecting about, let's say 200 chicks, you may need to buy about 200 divided by 50. We're going to buy about, I think, 4 boxes. Yes. So make sure you come to pick these chicks with the money for these boxes that we're going to pack these chicks in. In case you come with your own boxes, it's much better. But make sure these boxes that you bring, they don't have big holes. You know, these chickens, when they are young, they have tendencies of passing these small legs through. You know, they are very fragile. The leg can pass in those small holes and it can break. That chick can die, it can become totally lame, and it's going to affect you. Or it can pass the head inside that small hole and anything can happen. So make sure you bring the right boxes, or you tell us you need the boxes. We shall provide you with these boxes, and you take your chicks. When you take your chicks, first thing you do is to immunize them, to vaccinate them against Marex and Newcastle. And then you can set up your brooder and put them in your brooder. So I think that is that, guys, about the how to select your eggs, or how to handle your eggs that are going to incubate. So Mr. Jenik, that is how we handle the fertilized eggs. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year again. I know today is Christmas. You guys, I know you are celebrating wherever you are. I just want to send some shouts to all the people who are watching us from different countries, from different places of the world. We love you so much. And again, I wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And I believe that year 2026 is going to be a year of miracles. It's going to be a year of prosperity. I believe that you can make a difference. You can change your lives in the year 2026. But I always tell you, if you're planning to start, please don't wait. There is not enough money to start. There is no such a thing that how much money is enough for me to start. Start with what you can and leave what you cannot. Okay? Some of you can start with 50 chicks. It's very okay. If you can start with 200, it's okay. If you have the capacity to start with 500, 1,000, 2,000, it's very okay. Just get the basics, get the basic information before you even do anything. Before you construct your house for the chicken, before you book, you come to me, a local poultry farm, to book these chicks. Before you do anything, get this basic information and know how many chicks you can manage. Book the chicks, do the housing, and you are in business. So year 2026, all of you who have not started, I believe by June or late May, you're going to be getting money out of your chicks. Because when you get these chicks now, or when you get them in January, trust me, in June, you're going to be a millionaire. You're going to make it. Guys, there's nothing hard in this. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.